back there.
Are you gonna have a movie with Wolverine in it?
Yes, we're going to have a movie with Wolverine in it, even as we speak. That's the X-Men movie that I told you Dick Donner is probably going to do in 20th century to do it. I might as well tell you about all the movies fast so you don't have to ask individual questions. The Spider-Man movie goes into the works next year. There's going to be a Black Panther movie starring Wesley Snipes. Thank you. That'll be done by Columbia Pictures. There's going to be a Hulk movie. That's going to be done by Universal Pictures. There's going to be, there are a couple others, I can't think of them now. 2 people want to do a Thor movie. I've got to go back and talk to them. I've got to talk to, there's a very famous director named Roland Joffe. He wants to do either the Ghost Rider or Doctor Strange. I'm going to meet him. Whichever one he does, there's another guy who wants to do the other one. So I think the Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange are both going to be done. There's going to be a Spider-Man animated series, just like the X-Men. Fox Broadcasting has just ordered 65 episodes of Spider-Man. We're starting up our own animation studio again. We're hiring people out on the coast now. And starting next year, the middle of the year, there'll be 65 new Spider-Man cartoons. And then we're going to do a series of Iron Man cartoons. That's all I can remember. Oh, and we're also doing a Luke Cage movie. I don't know who's going to be in it yet, and we're working on a Blade Vampire Hunter movie with New Line Films. They're the people who do the Mutant Ninja Turtles. So we've been kind of, oh, Oliver Stone. Oliver Stone wants to do Elektra Assassin as a movie. And I let him twist my arm. I said, okay, you can talk me into it. And let's see, Oliver Stone also is working on doing, get this, on doing the She-Hulk as a television series, live action. So next year is going to be pretty exciting for us. Yes? Is there going to be an X-Men limited series? You mean a comic book series? Yes. In fact, there's always an X-Men limited series. All of the X-Men are limited series. The minute they stop selling, we'll drop them. Now, we've got so many X-Men now. We have limited series, we have unlimited series. I don't even know the names of all the... We got a guy back there. Yes? I need your help.
How do you feel about the artists that split off from Marvel to form Image?
Now somebody's got to tell me what you said. Say that louder.
How do you feel about the artists that split off from Marvel to form Image?
How do I feel about the artists that split off from Marvel to form Image? Good luck to them. Most of them are friends of ours. And there's no reason why a guy can't quit and form another company. That's what makes America. That's what makes competition. The better they get, the better we have to be in order to stay on top. Who benefits by it? You do. If there's no competition, everybody gets lazy. We think we've got the best books, the best artists, the best writers. One great thing about this business, comics have become so popular. It used to be if an artist left, a good artist left, you couldn't replace him. It was a big tragedy. Now, whoever leaves, there are 10 guys who are better just waiting to get a job. So it isn't really the problem it used to be. I love all those guys. I hope they do well. I hope we do well. And I hope you have a lot of books to choose from. Yes? How long can we maintain the prices of the Marvel books against the, our cover price? I don't know. I am no better at answering that question than anybody else. What happens, Marvel, and I'm sure the other companies too, none of us want to raise the prices of the books. We know you don't like it. It makes it tougher for you to buy the books. We don't want to do it, but there is always a point at which the printer raises his prices, the cost of paper goes up, everything goes up, and at some point, all accountants in the company companies study the figures and they say, hey, we got to raise the price or we'll be losing money. I don't know when that'll happen. Nobody does. So we keep our fingers crossed. But I can promise you this, we will never raise the price of anything unless we absolutely have to, because we don't want to do it any more than you do. Yes, right here.
I was wondering if Carnage was going to make a comeback.
If who's going to come back?
Carnage.
I didn't even know Carnage was away, but sure he'll make a... Carnage is a popular character. Again, you can answer these questions yourself. If Carnage is gone for a while, if Cable is gone for a while, if Venom is gone, of course they'll be back. They're too popular. We're not going to let them stay gone for long. Yes? Shout it out!
Is it true that you sold Superman to DC?
What about Superman?
Is it true you sold Superman?
Is it true I sold Superman to DC? No. I never owned Superman. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
See, that's what everybody else said.
Where do I see comics going in the future, and what advice would I offer to anybody wanting to get into the field? Don't I have a great memory for questions? I don't know where comics are going any more than you do. All I can tell you is they're getting more and more popular. Every time I go somewhere to speak, there are more people than there were before. I just got back from that big convention in San Diego, which is one of the biggest. Last year, there were 25,000 people there. This year, there were 35,000. I just think comics are going to get bigger and bigger. More and more older readers are reading them. More and more younger readers are reading them. So where they'll go, I don't know, but as the business gets bigger, they'll start branching out into electronic games and into multimedia. You'll be able to get a compact disc with comics. But your guess is as good as mine. I'm not a predictor. As far as people wanting to get into comics, let me mention this very quickly. If you're a writer, it's almost impossible, because you've got to be a professional writer who's been published. About the only people they consider are people who can send material, who say, look, these are books I've already done, these are comics I've already done, do you like them? I'd like to work for you. If you're an artist, it's much easier, provided you're incredibly good. All an artist has to do is make up samples of his work, send them into Marvel, and address them to the art director. Our art director, John Romita, he looks at everything. If he finds that your work is really great, he'll get in touch with you, and you're off and running. If you're a writer, really the only way you can do it is to somehow get friendly with one of the editors. Write them a lot of letters, phone them, come up to the office, get to know them, and after a while maybe you can convince them to give you a tryout. But I don't want to kid you, it's very tough to become a comic book writer. And this young man here has his hand up. I really don't know if X-Men will be rated PG, but the chances are it will. I don't think we want to make our movies an R-rated. We want as many people as possible. We want everybody to see them. Thank you. Yes, sir. Right over there. Yeah.
There's going to be a crossover that they're going to show how the heroes of now die in the future. That could mess up our comics now.
It would sure mess up the comics, but I don't think it's going to happen. The question was, he heard or read that in 2099, we're going to kill off all the heroes of the present, and no, we're not. Why would we want to do that? Nah. Maybe for one story, just to tease everybody. Who hasn't over there? Yeah. How loud can you shout?
Shout it out.
I was wondering if the Marvel and DC would team up again.
If Marvel and... Whoops. He was wondering if Marvel and DC will team up again. I met with, what's his name, Paul Levitz, who's one of the guys at DC, at the San Diego Fair. And I said, hey, Paul, how about doing a Spider-Man, Superman story, or a Silver Surfer Batman or something? He said, yeah, sure, that's a good idea. Then I realized I have nothing to do with it. So I said, when I get a hold of Tom DeFalco, who's our editor-in-chief, I'll mention to him that you said you want to do it, and maybe, so I'm going to tell Tom about it, maybe we'll do it. But those things, what happens is the editors want to do them, and then the lawyers have to work out the contract, and it gets so complicated, but we'll try to do it.